And some people jump in quick. There we go. We got some people in here. How's everyone doing today? Everyone's having a good weekend. Start of the weekend here. We got a lot of stuff to talk about here, so I am going to go as fast as I can on this one. I only got about 45 minutes. Got a lot to talk about here quick. I've been gone for about a week. Had some things I had to take care of, and on top of that, we had about 30 inches of snow, so that was fun shoveling all of that. But man, what a fun week today, or this week. So this week, the FUD kicked around. We found out today that I apparently last week I sold my shares, apparently, even though I voted. Suddenly I know Adam Aaron, and I know his kid, according to Mark Cahoe. He's got proof, but then we asked for the proof, and there's none. Apparently I work for Citibank. Because there was a LinkedIn profile that was like the most pathetic thing I've ever seen in my entire life. This thing had my Twitter handle, not my real name. Didn't even have the right town. Oh, it was just fucking hilarious. But, whatever. It was funny. So let's get into this stuff that I've missed over the week quick here. And like I said, I'm going to try and catch up quick. I know I don't have as much time, but I have a lot I want to go over here. So let's get into this lawsuit here real quick. So this thing cracks me up. So a lot of this lawsuit here, basically, they're complaining about Adam Aaron nonstop. They're talking about how he just fucked retail over, that he did this, he did that. Everything he did was illegal, blah, blah, blah. So let's go over the real bullet points here. 1 second. So he talks about Ape and all this stuff and how he created all these new things and how it went against shareholders and all this stuff. Well, in 2013, all of this was approved by shareholders. He didn't need to approve all this stuff again as well. So, him saying they created these new convertible notes, they created this new stuff, all just to undermine stockholders and to get their yes votes is just crazy. This was already approved in 2013. This was already approved to help raise cash and be an instrument to raise cash. And now, it raised cash just because we don't like the price doesn't make it illegal. They talk about Highcroft. Adam Aaron, any chairman, any CEO does not have to ask investors on if they can spend money and what they need to purchase things on. Half of this stuff here is just like, oh my God. This is literally embarrassing. This is literally embarrassing. They're already talking for like continuance, and this is gonna get thrown out. This is like literally embarrassing. This is like the George Donahue fucking lawsuit where he's talking about dark pools instead of over-the-counter market, dude. All of this is, we don't like what Adam Aaron did, so it was just to get us. And there's no proof. There's nothing really involved in any of this. It's saying that he used a tool that was approved by stockholders to fuck us over. Now, I'm not saying I'm not sticking up for Adam Aaron. And here's the thing that I don't understand. Okay. We have all of these fucking meet and greets with Adam Aaron, right? Everybody goes and sees him and they ask him these questions. And the questions people need to ask Adam Aaron are so simple. There's just 3 questions. If you see Adam Aaron, if you're doing one of these meet and greets, go ahead and put this up to him. The first question I would ask Adam Aaron, was there a restriction on Ape when it was first created? When it could be sold or when it couldn't be sold? Or was that always your call? That's one thing we all need to know. 2, why do you believe we didn't dilute Ape more when it was around $10 and it had higher demand right off the bat if there was no restriction? Crazy, that's a good thing to ask him. Number 3, if you get your yes votes, do you believe it'd be more beneficial to sell slowly at the market and let retail keep buying it and keep building the price up? Or do you believe it's better to give it to lenders at a discount towards debt that we have been doing currently? And like I said, I'm not sticking up for Adam Aaron. He's done a lot of stupid shit that I don't agree with. And I sit there and I look at this where it's like, okay, I have one question for everybody that just drills Adam Aaron, just drills AMC, and just all right, we got to do this. Okay, if let's just be real for a second here. If we kick Adam Aaron out, who would you put in his place? Because think about it. If it's gonna be a fucking person in the community, everyone's just gonna rip him a new asshole. You just wanted clout, because that's what happened the first time. You just wanted clout. You're not qualified. Well, what are your qualifications? Well, why does all of that matter? If you guys want somebody in there that's an ape and for these certain things, well, you got to pick somebody. Give me a name. Give me somebody that you would put in there, honestly. And then if you say another suit, okay, tell me another person in the industry or another suit that's going to come in there and not work with the bankers. Because what they're all doing is they're looking over and they're going, all right, this movement isn't going to, support us through these billions of dollars for this long-term debt. Are they? Maybe. Well, we gave them a chance to do it with Ape. And like I said, when we ask Adam Aaron these 3 questions, we'll get a lot of answers. A lot of answers, and we'll know a lot of people's intentions, including his, this entire time. But here's the thing. Everybody sits here and goes nuts over this conversion, and everyone's sitting here telling me the price it's going to convert at today, and everyone's telling me this is what's going to happen, and the second this happens, it's going to be $30-$40 at most. And who the fuck knows what's going to happen before the vote? Who knows what's going to happen to the price action before the vote? None of you. Nobody can tell me exactly what it's going to happen. No one knows if it's going to jump way up. Nobody knows. We'll find out. AMC is currently on the threshold, and I'll get to that in a second here. But like I said, I'm not sticking up for Adam Aaron. But every single person that sits there and let's kick him out. Nobody has ever given you a name, an actual name, an actual solution, another person. If Adam Aaron comes out and says, yes, I was restricted when Ape was created, and that's why I couldn't dilute it at 10, how many of you are going to fucking, oh, okay, well, that was, now I feel like an idiot for bashing him for fucking blah, blah, blah. None of them will admit they were wrong, but you'll know your answer. Just say, hey, was there any kind of restriction when Ape was first created on when it could be sold or any type of thing like that? Or was it 100% your call, Adam Aaron? If he goes, it was my call to do it, or we gave it to the bank to do this and that, well, okay, well, now we'd be like, well, why did you let them do it at such a... We have more questions to ask. Instead of asking YouTubers, why did he do this? How the fuck does any of us know why any of this shit happened? I don't know why he didn't sell at $10. But when we ask him in these meet and greets, those specific questions, you'll know your answers. I mean, it's crazy to me. But like I said, this is absolutely fucking laughable. Oh, he created these things that were already voted on just to get this when they were created and voted on and made to raise capital. Like I said, no matter what, like it or not. And I fucking don't like it at all that he sold and all that shit. What the hell? That could be question number 4. Question number 4. Why do you think it was beneficial to sell to Antera before we did the conversion and give it to them at such a low rate? How was that beneficial to stockholders in your opinion? There you go. He can answer that for you. Those 4 questions, they tell you a lot of stuff. And if he answers them wrong, get him the fuck out. But then again, I ask you the same thing. Who are you going to put in? Like I said, I don't stick up for Adam Aaron. I just don't know who the fuck we're going to throw in there. And anytime I've ever asked somebody for a logical answer, I don't know. It's just as long as it's not him. So you want to get rid of the chairman, the CEO, leave AMC in turmoil, and look around and go, who's going to do it? And everyone hates everybody. Nobody trusts anybody. So what the fuck are you going to do? Like I said, this shit's fucking crazy, man. 90% of this shit is them assuming stuff. Well, you gave it to him just to get this. You gave it to them just to do this. Again, I'm not sticking up for Adam Aaron, but the only logical thing that can make sense why he's doing this shit is he's looking over going, well, if the apes aren't going to support me and anything happens to the movement where they leave, well, these shitty lenders and banks are the people I'm going to have to keep dealing with and keep them happy. unless we can do something to where we're getting the fuck out of debt at a rapid pace. I don't know if you guys saw today on Twitter. AMC's popping some popcorn bags. Let's go. Been waiting for this to finally come to stores. I mean, if you guys believe this stuff's gonna start taking off, if you guys want to, you let them dilute a little more through 8 to get to where they need to be. Hopefully credit cards take off, you get more revenue streams, movies keep taking off. There's a ton of good movies coming out. Like I said, I don't care what path you take. I'm not gonna sit there and I don't care what path you take. I really don't. I have told you which one I believe is the better one. But I'm okay with either one, and I understand which happens, you know, what happens either way you fucking go. You be okay with it. Like I said, be okay with whatever path is. And if you are saying no, know what, you know, actually saying no means. This is the problem. Most of the people that say no have said these exact fucking words, and it pisses me off. I would rather see the company go bankrupt than have them maybe bail the company out and then the shorts get out of it. Okay, well, Adam Aaron's job as a CEO, any suit, any person's job as a CEO, their job is to make sure the company does not die. So you're pissed off that he doesn't want the company to die? I mean, like I said, some of these people that go, I better just go to zero now. Okay, well, what the hell? Like I said, this stuff, dude, some people sometimes, man, like I said, it's the same people saying the same shit. The threshold list. Now, I'm not going to get super into the threshold list. You guys can do a little DD on what it is. I've done tons of videos on what it means, what it does. We've gone over sham resets. I'm not going to go over sham resets. I'm just going to put this in the chat. Go over this. We've went over this thing 1,000 times. I know everybody does not want me to go over sham resets with overstock again. But here's the link. Now, with Phase 6 coming, like I said, it comes up in 1 week here. Actually, about 5 days. So you got 5 days coming up till the new contracts of 6 months are going to expire. They're now going to have to put down more collateral. They'll now have a third party watching them as well. I'm excited for that. We'll see what happens here. Now, with the right show, like I said, I'm not going to go super into this. But what I'm seeing out of this and what this tells me is there is an entity, maybe two. They're having a ton of problems delivering on their shares. So what this is when the rich eat the rich. Now, I feel like this high cost to borrow that we're all seeing. Where the hell is it? Here you go. The high cost to borrow we're all seeing here is a lender that, or a market maker as well, going out now, and they're getting these all pumped up, and they're attacking these guys at another angle. They know they can't deliver, so what they're going to do is after or right before the 13 days here, you got 13 consecutive days. What they're going to do is try and find a market maker that will take that obligation on, and what they're going to do is say, all right, you're going to have to pay us a fee. We'll take that on. So this is how the rich eat the rich. This is how they gain leverage on people. And once they have leverage on one of these companies that another big bank has a big holding on, now they have more leverage on another bank. And this is how the game works. How can I get leverage on this guy? How can I get leverage on that guy? Keep the fucking bullshit rolling. So what I'm saying, like I said, what I'm seeing here with the reg show is you got entities now that are having problems delivering these shares, and they're going to have to pawn it off. But with, like I said, you can't sit here and do what they were doing in the overstock lawsuit anymore. You cannot do sham resets and sham closeouts. You'll have to actually pass the obligation on this time. So we'll see what happens with this. Like I said, it should get very interesting over here in the next couple weeks, right before the vote. Now, I was going to go ahead and explain all that into this, but like I said, I'm not going to get super into this time. I don't have a whole bunch of time. Now, I wanted to get into some other stuff here quick. And like I said, I'm going to do another video tomorrow. We're going to talk nothing but AMC, the vote. We're getting into all this stuff. I'll be live again. And I just want people to see the other stuff that's going on right now, because this is just ridiculous. And I've been wanting to talk about this, and there's not a lot of media coverage. There's not a lot of stuff going on here. So if you haven't heard, they basically Chernobyl Ohio. Now, there was a train derailment, and the reason it happened is you had all these laws passed, and Wall Street took over, and one of the things that they did is the inspections on the cars went from 3 minutes to 90 seconds. They say it takes around 90 seconds to walk around an entire train boxcar. So basically, the new inspections are walking around just looking at it quick and doing a quick walk, and that's it. That's your inspection. So these things are derailing, and pretty much they Chernobyl, Ohio. And this, I'm gonna lead. This all leads into something here, so I'm not just gonna bring up this story, but this is something that is insane. This is one of the worst disasters in the United States history. It barely got any coverage, and still to this day, you're not seeing many people at all talk about it. They literally Chernobyled this town. They made a video with them right before it, and then they Chernobyled it. It actually happened. Now, why do I bring this up? This will lead me to another point here. After they Chernobyl the living shit out of this town, what happens? This company owned by Wall Street, after they did a $10 billion stock buyback program in 2017, after they pushed all this new, they were supposed to have a new brake requirements, and then they went ahead and they got lobbyists, and they said, fuck those requirements, we're not doing that. We don't want those. Millions of dollars in corporate lobbying. Nah, we want these poor shitty regulations to keep going. We don't want to pay that extra dollar. Now, what happens? So they blow them all to hell, and then what do? They offer the town of 5,000 residents $25,000 donation. Now, this isn't to each one. This was to the whole fucking town. So basically, everybody got $5. Sorry we gave you cancer. Sorry we did all this shit. Oopsies. It's our bad. But here's $5 fucking pre-tax. Because you know they're going to tax that shit. They literally offered them 25 grand right after. That's it. Here you go. Here's our huge contribution to helping. So then what do? They have fucking politicians and all this shit. Oh, we're drinking the water. They never show them actually pour it out of the sink. You know, even if it was out of the sink, they took the smallest sips you've ever seen in your life. Then they ran, probably right after the interview, ran outside, vomited, took all these iodine pills, all this shit they could possibly take, this. Oh, it's okay. It's okay to do the drinking water. So while they're doing all this shit and bombing us, what happens? The same fucking company that did the bombing was the company that was hired to test the water after they killed animals, fish. Dude, this shit was toxic as fuck. It's the same shit. It's self-regulation, just like in the stock market. Now, what did I say? I did a vote the other day, and I go, who do you think's going to get help first? And I want you guys to see this and make your own conclusion, because this is fucking insane. So after they bomb them, there hasn't been this massive aid to get this shit cleaned up and help the citizens, or fucking get them out of debt or harm or any of this stuff, help them rebuild, nothing. United States readies an additional $10 billion for Ukraine. Okay? Now this was yesterday. Okay? I want you to see something else right after this. Bankman-Fried is charged with conspiracy to unlawful politician contributions and defrauding the Election Commission. The Elections Commission. 300 politicians got paid off by this guy, and it was an illegal bribe. Illegal bribe. Now, I should have pulled it up. You have him getting charged, correct? Now, this all leads into something here. I'm about to get into something, so please bear with me, please. Now, he's about to get charged. Wales. Let me go over to Wales quick. Why the fuck does he never... He never fucking... There we go. He never used to pull up for me for some goddamn reason. It drove me nuts. I think this is it right here. So Wales actually did a report. I should have pulled it up. This was the only thing I knew I wanted to pull up. Fuck. He did a report and actually has all... There it is. No, this is the one he just did it on them all buying the stocks before the war. Here it is. So, this is the list of politicians who all took those bribes. They're right here. Every one of them. How many of these guys are getting charged right now? Now, why do I bring that up? Remember this. $10 billion in economic assistance for Ukraine. BlackRock and JP Morgan helped Ukraine prepare for a new instrument for investors. Ukraine is working with BlackRock and JP Morgan to form a development banker fund. Oh, really? Now let's go a little deeper. JP Morgan reaches agreement on helping Ukraine on rebuilding the infrastructure. Oh, really? So, you have one of the most corrupt countries out there now working with with actually the devil. The worst people on earth, JP Trash Morgan. The worst people on the planet. If you bank with JP Morgan, I am so fucking disappointed with you. If you have anything involving them in any way, shape, or form, holy fuck am I disappointed with you. It's not even funny. So we'll keep throwing shit over to Russia. We'll keep putting our banks deeper into their fucking system. We'll keep throwing money over there. Our politicians will keep on taking. What, you don't think what this is funneling in any way? Politicians will keep taking fucking bribes. You don't think, how many of these bribes do you think are coming from Citadel? How much are coming from fucking JP Morgan? Now, again, I want people to get more into this. I want you guys to take this, and I want you guys to Google this right here, this sentence. And I want you to read multiple articles. I was going to go super into this today, but I'm going to save this stuff for tomorrow. We're going to go way more into this stuff tomorrow. Now, the United States tells us all the time they have fucking no money, blah, blah, blah. They can't do any of this stuff. As you see us throwing money away, throwing it to other countries, throwing it to these banks. It's basically like another bailout in my eyes to these banks to help funnel them, which then in return come in and short us. Like, it's just fucking insane, the level of corruption, you guys. It's nuts. Now, they can't ever help us. They don't have any pennies. They have nothing to do for, that can help us after they fucking Chernobyl the town. But we can spend $559 billion in fucking military contracts. They don't have money anywhere. The 5 agencies have 1.9 trillion, but we don't have any money at all to help any of this situation out, any of this stuff. Now, I want you to guys listen to this. JP Morgan has said it should not be held liable for former top executive relationship with Jeffrey Epstein in a lawsuit. Okay, I mean, I have shown you guys how much fucking evidence not only did they know about it, the Virginia prosecutor got fired when she was gonna show the whole world all the other stuff. I've shown you guys countless things about JP fucking Morgan. Criminals, drugs, cartels, sex trafficking. I showed you 5 people that were involved in JP Morgan that all were involved with Jeffrey Epstein and all just stepped down. They just stepped down. They literally stepped down before it came out. And I showed you it all. And then they go, it's not our fault. It's not us. Oops. Whoopsies, it wasn't us. Don't hold us accountable. As JP Morgan, look at their violations. 223 crimes. Look at their fucking penalties since 2000. It's not our fault. 36 fucking billion? None of this shit's our fault, guys. Financial offenses, 112. Toxic security abuse, 7. Mortgage abuse, banking violations, they don't give a fuck. Anti-money laundering, these 2 were for the cartel I showed you. Fucking stupid ass. I hate this. I had to plug this stupid ass thing in. Doing defrauding on precious metals, they don't give a fuck. Just a quick $1 billion fine. Oh my god. I mean, you can literally look it up and JP Morgan's done it. But yet they go, it's not her fault. Dude. JP Morgan is literally the biggest pieces of shit on the planet. I mean, it's every day I post something new about JP Morgan. Here, let's check this out. Listen to this. JP Morgan moved... The largest bank in the United States moved money for people and companies tied to massive looting of public funds in Ukraine. Oh. They move shit for the mob, fraudsters, corruption regimes, oligarchies, mafia. They don't give a fuck. Jess Staley, one of the guys that was involved also. Guess what? Jeffrey Epstein Island. Melinda Gates Foundation and JP Morgan Chase proposed a multi-billion-dollar charitable fund with Jeffrey Epstein. Yeah, they weren't involved with him at all. Glenn Dublin, Jeffrey Epstein. Guess where he worked? JP Morgan. Oh. JP Morgan, fine for guess what? Not reporting half of FX swaps. What? Well, don't worry. We incorrectly believed one-day swaps did not have to be reported. It was just half of them. No big deal. It represented only 51% of our FX swap trades. We didn't have to report it. Who cares? Our bad. Guess what? 14 trillion their derivatives spiked in the first fucking 6. Dude, like I said, look at this fucking corruption. They're number 1 in this. Guess who's bailing out the hedge funds? Oh, JP Morgan. So in other words, you got fucking funneling going on to Ukraine. So JP Morgan can fucking get it back and go ahead and give it to who? Their hedge fund buddies. Oh, The Guardian. JP Morgan unlawfully provided and pulled the levers through which recruiters and victims were paid. And was, like I said, look at this stuff. No big deal. It wasn't their fault. Don't hold us accountable. It wasn't our fault. Good grief, these. Like I said, if you're in JP Morgan, get the fuck out of that shit. Fucking JP Morgan. Jesus Christ. Said they're the biggest criminal fucking enterprise I've ever seen in my entire fucking life, dude. And if you didn't see some pictures of Murph, here he is getting his little play on quick. Getting his. Enough about JP trash. Now, I told you guys the housing market was going to start seeing massive downfalls. And at this point, you're going to see the Fed start taking massive hits on all of this. And they weren't going to be able to funnel the money like they were doing. And they're going to have to find out a new way. And I kind of believe this might be it. I'm not sure, but we'll find out. So, U.S. mortgage applications have collapsed. Nobody can buy. The rates are too fucking high. You need basically to have $2,100 a month to live in about a $250,000 $1,000 house. Most states, where the fuck are you finding those anymore? No one can afford this shit.
U.S. housing market hit the biggest 6-month wipeout since 2008. 2.3 trillion decline. And I said this was going to start happening around this time. And guess what? We're having massive decline. So I kept saying, wait around. If you can wait, about 2 more months, you could probably get a house at a pretty decent price. Said you're going to start seeing this market wipe out, and the feds are going to have a big problem. They had all of those things in mortgage-backed securities. A lot of those mortgage-backed securities don't even exist anymore because of 2008. And the securities or the mortgages, like I said, the houses aren't even there anymore. I mean, these guys are fucked. Now, I want you guys to understand why I keep on talking about CBDCs, the banks. This is their last fucking way out. And I want you guys to see what the fuck is happening. Lebanon. They're setting banks on fire because they can't get their money out. This is what a currency collapse looks. Look, Ike. Sorry. Sorry. I had some hard dry mouth there. All right. This is what a currency collapse looks like. Well, here you go. Very dark experiment, and I don't think many people are watching Nigeria and understanding what's going on over there. Like I said, these banks, if you have them in these ISDA banks, if you have them in these banks that are fucked in the derivatives market, if you have them in these banks that can potentially go under, even one of them, what do you think is going to happen? All this stuff. If they have a couple collapse of dominoes, like I said, if there's a lot of stuff, man, that these banks, I just feel like that they have way too much fucking power. These CBDCs cannot happen. I've already showed you guys the pilot on the DTCC. Pilot. There we go. I want people to look at this. They want to do CBDC securities. They want to make it so they have theirs, which are called wholesales, and they want to make it so we have our CBDCs. Paste this. Now, let's go back to what's going on over here. In Nigeria, having deadly consequences since October 2021. 99.5% of Nigerians have refused to use the central bank's digital currency. Okay? Preferring to continue using cash. So what did the banks do? It doubles down. In December, the central banks decided to replace all high denomination cash bills in the economy, just as India did in its disastrous demonstration campaign of 2016. The goal is to make it much more difficult for them to use cash. So pretty much they're literally like, all right, well, we'll start taking tenders away until you start using our stuff. People are not able to access cash. They're pretty much trying to force them to use this. CBDCs are a massive fucking problem. Japan to launch their digital yen CBDC pilot in April. Russia to launch their digital ruble in April. Protesters march through the streets of Amsterdam to protest against the launch of CBDCs. This is what they fucking want to end up getting in to keep the bullshit going. Like I said, guys, this is what they're going to come down to try to do. I feel like what's going on with the threshold list, they're trying to go ahead and keep creating FTDs. They're going to go ahead and push it off to another market maker, and they're going to try and push it off until past the vote. So that's a possibility. It's something to think about as well. But, like I said, man, there's a lot going on at play right now. A shit ton going on.
The sky in northeastern Ohio. Massive train derailed Friday, 20 of them carrying hazardous materials as flames lit up the sky in northeastern Ohio.
The evacuation order is in place for anyone within a mile radius of the crash site.
These aren't storm clouds. This is the fucking shit! The fucking shit that burned off in East Palestine!
Look at that fucking picture right there, dude. Look at that fucking cloud. That's toxic shit. But here, like I said, here's 25K, and this is my point. Everyone now will go ahead and attack Trump. Yeah, Trump fucking did it too, and he's a piece of shit for doing that. But at the same time, Biden's had how long to fucking reverse it too. But they don't give a shit. Everything is about profit for these fucking pieces of shit. You have 10 billion on stock buybacks. You have all this money. You're completely owned basically by fucking Wall Street. But here's 25,000 for your whole fucking town. Blows my fucking mind. We'll let the company who went ahead and fucking bombed them, Chernobyl them, go over and say, is it safe or not? Because now if they go, well, it's safe, there's nothing wrong. Guess what? They don't have to go to court. They don't have to pay the fines. This is fucking, again, self-goddamn regulation. And think of how much shit this is involved in. Okay, here's my thing. All right, you see the safety concern with trains. What the fuck is going on with these food plants? What's changed in the safety since how long? Why are there so many fires? How is it not fixed? How is this such a catastrophic problem? What other safety things have been cut on that are destroying all of this shit for a couple more bucks for Wall Street? Meanwhile, they'll continuously bribe our politicians. Look at this. This is all illegal. And if he wouldn't have got caught, guess what would have happened? This illegal bribes no one would have cared about. 300 politicians. 300 politicians. This should be front page on every news. 300 politicians took illegal bribes. 300. This shit's fucking crazy. Don't put Trump's name in this. Guess what, buddy? Everybody makes mistakes. Sorry. You're going to tell me he came in and did perfect? Stupid. It's childish. Grow up. Well, like I said, guys, these banks are the fucking problem. The government's allowing it all. We need to fucking bank run, or we need to fucking pull the fuck out of these. You need to fucking make people aware who the enemy is. It's them. Right there. It's the guys that are bailing out every fucking hedge fund they can possibly bail out. 4,000. They added 4,281 hedge funds. Who's bailing them out, guys? Who do we need to bank run? Them. Alright, guys. I'm going to go ahead and go live tomorrow. The wifey's and me has some stuff we got to take care of in the morning, so I got to get up super early. I will be live around hopefully noon or 1. Have a good day, guys. Thank you.